is that time of year again. It's the new year. I hope that you all had a wonderful entrance into the new year. Of course, many of us are starting the new year with lots of things to be excited about. We have resolutions, we have ways that we want to make this year better than the last year. For a lot of us, 2017 wasn't the easiest year, and one of the ways that we may want to improve this new year is in terms of happiness. How can we be happier than 2017? I've been thinking about this idea of happiness as it relates to expectations, and my observation is that when we have expectations that are too high, that are very lofty, unrealistic even, that interferes with us being able to enjoy the moment and to be happy. And one example that I can think of has to do with my own beloved 1-year-old daughter. When you have a child, there are times as they are getting older where we expect them to have achieved certain milestones. For instance, at the 6-month mark, it's like, oh, they're supposed to be sitting, and if they're not, it's like, oh no, like, is everything gonna be okay? Same thing for 1 year. Are they walking at that point? And if they're not, it's like, oh no, what's gonna happen if my child doesn't meet that expectation on that exact date that they changed that to that new age. And for as far as my daughter, I thought it would be great to celebrate her turning 6 months by buying her something that was reflective of the milestone that she was supposed to meet, which is sitting at 6 months. I got her a piano. What it is? It's a piano. In my mind, she would sit and she would be able to touch the keys and know that she was creating those sounds. And what is hilarious in retrospect, but at the time it's like, facepalm moment, is she actually would play the keys with her feet. And that was like a moment like, wait, I did not see that coming. Like, why she played it with her feet? And it's like, no, honey, you actually play it with your fingers. And so in that moment, you're like, oh my goodness, is she ever going to get it? And then, it's the dreaded doctor's visits where it's like they're asking you, is she meeting those milestones at a particular age? It was, is she crawling? And you're like, well, she's doing a sliding around the floor thing. Does that count? You're like desperately trying to figure out if she's meeting that expectation. Another thing was, is she playing peekaboo? And it's like, I don't even know if I know how to play peekaboo. I don't think she's meeting that milestone either. Then it's like, is she able to clap? And it's just like, oh no, like, she's not doing any of these things when we're being asked, is she doing them? But by the grace of God, thankfully we're able to say, like, even though she didn't meet them right at the time that they were expected, fortunately she eventually would. So for instance, where we were like, is she ever going to crawl the right way? It's like, eventually. And not only does she crawl, but now she can do this. And what's really awesome is that when songs end, it's amazing. She actually now does this. So what I am trying to do this year is let go of expectations, because I do think that they interfere with being in the moment, and they interfere with our happiness sometimes, such that if I maybe hold on to those expectations less of my daughter, maybe I'll be able to enjoy her and just overall be a more content daddy. And I think that what I'm thinking about in terms of expectations for my daughter can extend to other parts of my life, because when we don't have as high of expectations, maybe we can just enjoy things as they come, as opposed to being on some timeline that, who are we even to know what that timeline is supposed to be exactly. with that, I hope that encourages you that maybe one way you can try being happier is just letting go of some expectations when you reflect, and maybe there are some things that are just like lofty, or just things that you've been holding on to that maybe just need reworking in terms of goal setting. I hope that that will be one way to get you closer to the happiness that you want and that I believe that you deserve. So with that, may God bless you with this new year, that you are prosperous, productive, healthy, and happy. Take care. Enjoy.